Hello children, I am your teacher Ghazala Kamran and this is your English literature lesson, The Secret of Seaview Cottage. This is part 1 of this lesson. Would you like to spend a day here? Today this lesson is taken from a book, Our Boys' Yarns, written by Arthur Groom. We will read about the author later on at the end of the lesson also. Before we start reading, let's look at some new words and phrases. Here is a list. Let's read these words with me. Number 1, kestrel. Number 2, patrol. Number 3, voyage. Number 4, forage. Number 5, gave vent to. Number 6, haunted. Number 7, creaking. Number 8, gossip. Number 9, feebly. Number 10, squaring his shoulders. Number 12, yacht. Number 13, clatter. Number 14, utterly. Number 15, dashed. Number 16, lofty. Number 7, procession. Number 18, halt. Number 19, jostling. Number 20, abruptly. Now, let's find out the meaning of these words and phrases. For this, here is another list with words and their meaning. Kestrel is the name of the scout troop. We are going to read the story about a scout troop. So it is the name of that group. Patrol means a small group of scouts. Voyage, a long journey involving travel by sea or in space. Forage, to search for food. Gave vent to, released. Haunted, frequented by a ghost. Creaking, making a harsh, high-pitched sound when being moved. Gossip, a conversation about other people. Feebly means weakly. Squaring his shoulders, getting ready to deal with something difficult. Yacht, a medium-sized sailing boat equipped for cruising or racing. Clatter, sound as of hard objects falling or striking each other. Utterly, completely and without qualification. Absolutely. Dashed, run or travel somewhere in a great hurry. Lofty, of imposing height. Procession, the action of moving forward in an orderly way. Jostling, bumping against someone roughly, typically in a crowd. Abruptly, suddenly and unexpectedly. Now, open your books at page number 9 and read with me. The Secret of Seaview Cottage. Isn't it wonderful? Cried Jimmy Wright as he followed his comrades of the Kestrel Patrol into the tiny cottage, standing a few yards from the deserted beach. I wonder if we shall find any treasures buried under the floorboards. Hey, cried Mr. Milman, the wealthy scoutmaster of the troop of Sea Scouts. Letting your imagination run wild, Jimmy? The youngest member of the patrol went red. I was just wondering, sir, he said lamely. The scoutmaster patted the boy on the back. It will be dark soon, he said, and I'm sure you're all as hungry as I am after the voyage. Yes, sir, cried the scouts. And then began a general forage round for stores and cooking pots. We have reached the end of page 9, and the story starts with a conversation between the wealthy Mr. Milman, who is the scoutmaster, and the youngest member of his troop, Jimmy Wright. Mr. Millman has brought the scouts to a small cottage on a deserted beach. Seeing the old cottage, Jimmy is excitedly hoping to find a hidden treasure in the cottage. Mr. Millman tells Jimmy that he is thinking of something almost impossible. Jimmy feels a little ashamed, but he makes an excuse for himself by saying that he was just wondering. Seeing this, Mr. Millman pats Jimmy on the back and says to all the scouts that they must be hungry after their long journey. At this, the scouts start looking for things to prepare their food. Before we go any further, let's learn about topic sentence. Now, a topic sentence is usually the first sentence in a paragraph. The topic sentence helps organize the paragraph by summarizing the information in the paragraph. Or we can say the topic sentence tells what the paragraph is about. And the rest of the paragraph consists of detail about the topic given in the topic sentence. So, can you tell me what is the topic sentence of the first paragraph? Let's look at page 9 again. If you have your books, you can read the first sentence. The first sentence of the first paragraph is, "Isn't it wonderful?" cried Jimmy Wright as he followed his comrades of Castrol Patrol into the tiny cottage, standing a few yards from the deserted beach. And in the rest of the paragraph we find out that Jimmy is thinking about finding treasures and they start looking for food. So what do you think is the whole paragraph about? And in the first sentence, which words tell us about the topic? If you guessed cottage, then you are absolutely right. The topic sentence is the first sentence of the paragraph, and the topic is, or the head word we can say, is the tiny cottage or cottage, because the rest of the story, rest of the paragraph is about the cottage. So now that you understand what a topic sentence is, let's move on to our story and let's read page number 11 now. An hour later, the boys and the scoutmaster gave vent to satisfied sighs and agreed that the meal had never gone down so well. "Do you think this place is haunted, sir?" asked Jimmy after the meal had been cleared away and he listened to the creaking of the floorboards overhead. Mr. Millman nodded, a smile on his lips. "It's local gossip," he answered. "And I well remember that when my brother and I were lads, we used to see all manner of weird shadows pass across the windows of Seaview Cottage." The speaker laughed. "But don't you worry," he added. "You won't meet any ghosts." The youngest scout grinned rather feebly, and then squaring his shoulders, glanced across his best friend, Bob Willis. "Hey Bob," he cried, "let's explore." And at the other's eager nod, the two rose and vanished up the winding staircase of the old cottage to which Mr. Millman had brought them. Had brought some of his scouts in a small yacht for a month's holiday. Meanwhile, the others continued to talk, and Gerald Turnbull was in the middle of a rather funny story when there came a terrific clatter on the stairs, and Bob Willis literally fell into the room. "Help!" he gasped. "Ghosts! We've seen them!" "Don't be silly!" snapped the scoutmaster, gripping the sea scout. "You're not a kid!" Bob swallowed hard and pulled himself together. "I'm sorry, sir." So we have come to the page of, to the end of the page 11, and here In the story, after eating a meal, Jimmy again wonders loudly if the cottage is occupied by any ghost. As he was listening to the sound made by loose floorboards of the upper story, Mr. Millman tells the children that he and his brother also used to see strange things around the cottage when they were small kids, but then he quickly assures the scouts that there are no ghosts here. At this, Jimmy gave a small smile and tried to look brave as he asked his best friend Bob Willis to check out the cottage's upper story also. They quickly go upstairs, and after a while, when the rest of the scouts were listening to a story by Gerald Turnbull, Bob stumbles down the stairs and almost falls into the room, stammering that they had seen ghosts. Mr. Millman tells him not to act like a child. What do you think? Could there really be ghosts in the cottage? Let's look at these questions. Question number 1. What the story is about? Is it about a cottage, ghosts, or a treasure? Question number 2. Why did the scoutmaster bring the scout troop to the tiny cottage? To punish them, for a holiday, or for a shopping spree? And question number 3. Why did Jimmy and Bob go upstairs? To look for food, to hide from the scoutmaster, or to explore? What are the correct answers? The answers are question number 1, the story is about a cottage. Question number 2, the scoutmaster brought his troop to a tiny cottage for a holiday. And question number 3, Jimmy and Bob went upstairs to explore. Now, let's start reading the next page. I'm sorry, sir, he answered bravely, but Jimmy and I saw a figure upstairs and... Where is Jimmy? Asked Jack Barton suddenly. Bob shook his head. I don't know, he replied. I thought he was behind me. Mr. Millman looked rather anxious. Come along, all of you, he said. This must be looked into. And he led the way upstairs to find all the bedrooms deserted. Jimmy Wright had completely and utterly vanished. Suddenly, there came a cry from the room over the kitchen. As the others dashed back into the room where Bob had seen his supposed ghost, they found Jack Barton peering into a cupboard. Look, sir, cried Jack, as he held the door of the cupboard open for his scoutmaster. Isn't that a door or something at the back? Mr. Millman whipped out a torch and flashed its beam on the back of the cupboard. You're right, he muttered, and what's more, it is partly open. There's no doubt that our young friend Jimmy has gone exploring further. Keep together, all of you, and follow me. There seems to be some steps leading downwards. The boys of the Castrol Patrol followed eagerly, their hearts beating with excitement and hardly able to credit the fact that they were having a great adventure on the first day of their holiday. One by one, they passed through the cupboard and then down a flight of dirty, worn and slippery stone steps. Once down the steps, the members of the patrol found that they were in a lofty, well-built tunnel. All had torches, for whoever heard of a scout who was not prepared for any emergency, so that these tiny points of lights were quite enough to light up the tunnel. So we have read page number 12. And the story on this page is that When Bob tells everyone that he and Jimmy have seen ghosts, Jack Burton certainly remembers that Jimmy is not here. Mr. Millman is worried and he starts looking for Jimmy all over the cottage, on the first floor where Jimmy had went exploring, but all the bedrooms are empty. And then there comes a call from the room above the kitchen where Bob and Jimmy had seen the ghost. Jack is standing with the cupboard door open and he shows his scoutmaster that there is a door at the back of the cupboard. Mr. Millman takes out his torch and turns it on and puts the light, and there he sees that it's really a door which is going down, and there are some steps leading down from the cupboard door. He guesses that Jimmy has gone exploring into the tunnel or into the steps, down the steps. He asks everyone to follow him. Everyone follows Mr. Millman through the cupboard door and down the steps. Once they come to the bottom of the stairs, they find out that they are in a well-built tunnel and the ceiling of the tunnel is very high. Everyone had their torches with them because they were all scouts, and all the scouts have torches with them. They turn on their torches and the light of all these torches is enough to light up the tunnel and they can see around. So this is the story by the end of page number 12. Let's move on and read page number 13. All had torches, for whoever heard of a scout who was not prepared for any emergency, so that these tiny points of light were quite enough to light up the tunnel. The procession moved forward in silence and without any incident. But suddenly, the scoutmaster called a halt, and pushing and jostling, the boys managed to get close enough to their leader to see what had caused him to stop so abruptly. "Here is the reason for the tunnel," whispered the owner of the yacht, which even then rode safely at anchor in the bay. "Here is evidence of what work Bob's ghost does for a living." So we're at the end of page number 13, and what has happened in the story till now is that when they come down in the tunnel, as they are walking one behind the other in the form of a procession, suddenly Mr. Millman, who is the scoutmaster, who is at the front of the procession, he stops, and the boys who are all walking behind him, they suddenly push into each other, bump into each other, and they also stop, and they come close to their scoutmaster to see why he has stopped so suddenly. He points at something with his light and says that here is something, or here is what Bob's ghost does for a living. So do you think there could really be ghosts in the tunnel? Jimmy had really seen a ghost with Jimmy and Bob? And what does Mr. Millman mean by what work Bob's ghost does for a living? Do you want to read the story further? Okay, let's first recap the story from page number 9 to page number 13. Question number 1. Where did the cupboard lead to? Question number 2. What did Jack see in the back of the cupboard? And question number 3. Why anyone couldn't find Jimmy in the cottage? Do you know the answers to these questions? Did you listen to the story attentively? Okay, the answers are: question number 1, where did the cupboard lead to? The cupboard led to a secret underground tunnel. Question number 2, what did Jack see in the back of the cupboard? Jack saw a door in the back of the cupboard. Question number 3, why anyone couldn't find Jimmy in the cottage? Jimmy went through the cupboard and into the secret tunnel. That is why nobody could find Jimmy in the cottage. So, are you ready for some homework? Here are 4 questions. The questions are given in exercise number A on page 21 in your book. Do these questions in your English literature copy and submit it in the office on Monday between 9 and 11 a.m. The questions are: number 1, how long was the Sea Scout troop going to be on holiday? Question number 2, find the descriptions and speech of the Scout Master, Mr. Millman, and create a short character sketch of him. Question number 3, which expressions tell us that the Sea Scouts enjoyed the adventure? And question number 4, Bob Willis was scared after returning from the staircase. Do you agree? Give reason for your answer. This is the end of part 1 of lesson 1. After this, see part 2. Do your homework. Stay safe, stay indoors.